Gunnerman Group is a go.
Yes! Not just a startup, an upstart.
Gotta get going.
Gotta be good.
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 Growth is the goal. How do we do that?
I talked to UPS. They'll help us out. New technology, smart advice. We focus on the business and they take care of the logistics.
UPS.
Good going.
We get good. That's great.
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 Great. I love logistics.
Welcome to another edition of Zips Weekly. I'm your host, David Suntup. Coming up, we'll take a look back at the past week in Zips athletics, including my conversation with Akron women's basketball head coach Jody Kest, the men's basketball team's two-game homestand with games against Toledo and Miami, and Akron baseball series down in Charlotte. We start off with the women's basketball week in review. I'm here with Jody Kest to recap Akron's loss against Ohio and preview the week ahead for the Zips with road games at Kent State and Buffalo. And Coach, we'll start off with the Ohio game. Your team turned the ball over 23 times. What do you attribute most of the turnovers to?
Well, half of it, OU is a very good defensive team. They do a great job of packing it in, forcing you into a lot of turnovers. And the other half, we just made silly mistakes, silly turnovers that cost us.
You guys wore orange warm-up shirts and socks to bring awareness to multiple sclerosis. What did it mean for you to see your program bring awareness to MS and also the Oak Clinic?
Well, I think any time that we can help, because it's such a terrible disease. I know that when I was growing up in high school, one of my best friend's dad, had it, and to see what he went through. And so any way we could do anything to raise awareness and money, we're here to do that.
You guys hit the road for the first time in 2.5 weeks. Kent State on Wednesday, Buffalo on Saturday. Let's talk about Kent State. What adjustments do you plan on making from the first matchup, which you guys won, in terms of your pace of play? Because you said after the first meeting that Kent State did a good job slowing down the game, especially early on.
They did. We wanted it to be in the 70s and 80s. And anytime you play Kent State, their team is going to be fired up. We're going to be fired up. Right now they're playing great basketball. They beat Bowling Green. Had a great chance of beating Buffalo and beat NIU. So they have a lot of confidence right now, but we have a lot of confidence too. So we're not going to let one bad game against OU change how we're going to attack them on Wednesday. So it'll be a great game. We're looking forward to it.
Thanks for the time, Coach, and best of luck against the Golden Flashes on Wednesday and also Buffalo on Saturday.
All right, thank you.
Akron men's basketball welcomed Toledo and Miami to the Jar, looking to extend its 9-game home winning streak and also continue its push for the top spot in the MAC East Division. The Zips dropped a close one to Toledo, 68-66 last Wednesday, after Rockets point guard Julius Brown nailed the game-winning shot with 1.7 seconds left. Akron had one last chance to win the game, but Kawan Cheatham's desperation three was off the mark as time expired. Antono Jackson scored a career-high 14 points in his first career start at point guard, while DG Ibitayo chipped in 11 points off the bench. The Zips dropped to 17-9 and 8-5 in conference play. Akron lost to Miami 57-52 in overtime last Saturday. The Zips had a chance to win it at the end of regulation, but Kawan Cheatham missed a three with 1 second left. Coach Dambrot's squad went just 1 of 8 from the floor in overtime, including 0 of 5 from downtown. Akron shot just 32% overall and committed a season-high 20 turnovers. Kawan Cheatham scored a team-high 14 points off the bench, while Noah Robotham added 10 points and 5 assists. It's the third straight loss for Akron, and the Zips fall to 17-10 overall and 8-6 in MAC play. Akron baseball took 2 out of 3 games in Charlotte this past weekend. The Zips won Game 3 of the series on Sunday after catcher Brian Lees knocked in the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th inning. Here's what the sophomore catcher had to say about the team's comeback win.
I mean, it was a great team win, great team weekend, all weekend. We just try to not do too much, like I said. Just try to get on base, get runners on, and then see what we could do. I try not to make the moment bigger than it was itself. I got the count to 2-2, and then I just tried not to do too much with the pitch. Our stars went deep into all 3 games. They did great throwing strikes, going after the other team's hitters, so it was just a great weekend by the pitchers.
Both track and field teams earned dual meet victories over Youngstown State in the Zips Invitational last weekend. Clayton Murphy set the school record for the fastest time in the 800 meters, while Sean Barber cleared 19 feet for the 6th time this season to win the men's pole vault. On the women's side, Alexis Cooks won the women's shot put after putting up the 2nd best mark in program history, while Claire Lucas took the women's pole vault after recording the 4th best vault in school history. Both teams head to Mount Pleasant, Michigan for the MAC championships later this week.
Well, the most important thing for Clayton Murphy is he was trying to get qualified for the NCAA championships. He was sitting pretty close there, and we needed to get him under 148 so he could do that. The amazing thing is he pretty much ran most of the race by himself. We did have a rabbit for a little part of it, but we just didn't have some strong runners in there to run against him. So it was quite an amazing time, thinking that he spent most of the race by himself. Well, he's at a level now where he's looking at 19 as the it used to be the old 18 for him, and so he's getting used to that, and so he's feeling very confident he could always hit that bar, and now it's just trying to push up to those extra bars. We try to use these meets where there's not as much competition to try and practice some things, get ourselves in some scenarios so we can get ourselves ready for the national meets and or for conference. And so, this is a great opportunity to get himself a really high intense practice, even though, he wants to keep that title. This is the first time he's won the Zips Invitational since he's been here. This has always been his down meet for the last couple of years, and somehow one of his teammates always had a big PR and was able to get him before, so that was kind of fun for him to get that this weekend. Well, I feel like the women are getting themselves ready for the conference championships. Again, you've got your superstars doing what they need to get done there with Claire Lucas doing what she did in the pole vault, and also Alexis Cooks. She's really getting herself together and really doing a great job, really getting strong, getting herself for nationals and for conference.
Akron women's tennis picked up a pair of wins over Cleveland State and Findlay last Friday. Sophia Geyer went 4-0 in the 2 matches, including a win at first singles against Findlay, the freshman's first ever match at first singles. The Zips are now 7-4 in the spring season. Number 13 Akron Rifle lost to 9th-ranked Ohio State in the NCAA qualifier in Columbus. Matt Chesum recorded a .578 to finish in 3rd place in the small bore competition. The Zips Student Athlete of the Week is Dom Euro. The sophomore second baseman knocked in 4 runs in Akron series in Charlotte with the game-winning hit in the first game and the game-tying sacrifice fly in the series finale that helped the Zips come back and win.
Being Student Athlete of the Week means a lot to me. I'm happy the baseball team's playing really well right now, and even though things were going as good as they were the first weekend, we managed to get 2 wins last weekend. It was just good to be a big part of it. Just the way how we played all 9 innings and all 6 games so far. We didn't give up. We didn't score as many runs this past weekend, but we hung in there and managed to get 2 wins.
Coming up this week in Zips Athletics, Akron men's basketball plays at Buffalo on Tuesday night and then hosts Ohio on senior night on Friday. Akron women's basketball hits the road to battle Kent State in round 2 of the PNC Wagon Wheel Challenge on Wednesday night. Akron women's tennis has 2 home matches against East Tennessee State and Cornell this weekend. The Akron swimming and diving team heads to Eastern Michigan for the MAC championships this week. Both track and field teams head to Mount Pleasant, Michigan for the MAC Indoor Championships this week. That wraps up this edition of Zips Weekly. Tune in next week as we'll recap the women's basketball team's wagon wheel showdown at Kent State, Akron men's basketball senior night game against Ohio, and the MAC championships for the track and field team and the swimming and diving team. Thanks so much for watching. I'm David Suntop for GoZips.com.